Hello again from Maine, still black fly season, so if you see me swatting, you'll know what it is. I wanted to talk about incremental knives. There are a lot of factors that affect knives. Humidity, and it's a little bit humid right now. Length of the blades, which we've talked about in the past. So we've got the 10, the 12. I'll be using 14s just because it's my preferred. At short distances, I find that a couple of inches blade length doesn't really radically change my throw position. I've talked previously about natural throw positions. For me, it's somewhere around 11 and a half, 12 feet. I've got the range marked out. I don't know if you'll be able to see all of it in 1 foot increments starting at 10 feet. So the first thing we want to talk about is position of the knife and flick. Normally I would not recommend flicking. My normal throw is going to come to this position, and I'm just going to simply relax my hand and let the blade slide out. There's another one. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the 10. I'll show you a flick, and where that's going to come from, it's going to be less power and just more. I'm going to try to add a little bit more rotation to the throw. Okay. You would think with that being closer, I would want to do that all the time, but like I said, this adds some inconsistency that I'm not really comfortable with. So now we're going to move it back to the 11. It's going to be a little bit less flick. Which should be good for me, but it's the one I usually miss on camera. I'm going to wait for the car to pass. I'm going to go more to my natural throw. All right, so we're up to 12 feet. At 13 feet, I'm going to start to add some rotation of the blade. And what that does is it catches a little bit more air. And we're going to try to go 13, 14, and then I'll stop at 15. All right, those are the 14s or 13s. 14, I'm going to just twist it a little bit more. Too much. No, not enough. I wasn't happy with any of that. That's better. At 15, things start to get even more complicated. What I'm going to do is, not only am I going to turn the knife 90 degrees, I'm actually going to choke up on it just a hair. Not enough. All right, so we're at 15 feet. We've turned it 90 degrees. That's as much as air as we can catch. Now what we want to do is we're going to start choking up on the knife from 16 feet. And turn. Not enough. Okay, so that the hand was all the way up to about here on that one. 17 feet, let's see, 15, 16, 17 is going to be even harder. I'm almost going to grip the knife at its midsection. All right. That was 16, 17 feet, I think. So 18 gets even harder. I can continue to try to choke up on it, or I can try to go back to the, I'm almost at the half rotation, and I'm not going to show you any point throws, but that's an option. But what I will try to do is I'm actually going to now add arc into the throw. So I'm going to try to create a higher arc so that the knife has more time to rotate. Okay. So I'm basically back to the 10-foot item, 19 feet, a little less arc, 20 feet, almost the normal throw, 21 feet. I actually start to begin to twist a little bit. With the humidity and the bugs, that makes it difficult. But so things to think about. Your angle of presentation, are you going to come out at your normal throw or my normal throw? Or am I going to try and get a little bit of flick, add some inconsistency if I have to be closer, or get more rotation? Am I going to add an arc to the throw? Am I going to start to twist the knife in my hand? Like I said, we come all the way to here. Am I going to start to change where I'm at on the blade? The other thing you can start to do is how much pressure you put on with your thumb. That was a black fly. Excuse me. Like I said, welcome to Maine. So, things you can consider. Don't do this at home with the black flies. They're not pleasant, and the buggers are too small to hit. I think that covers it. Like I said, the humidity really creates an issue for me. One of the things I'll put in my standard kit is some chalk or talcum powder. I'd much rather have a hand that's got a little, like I said, I use a slide, so I'd much rather have that slide out. When it gets humid, it actually gets tacky, and it's harder to make a clean release. Also, another thing you might want to keep in your bag is a towel if it's raining or snowing, in the case in Maine. Not right now, but you've seen other videos where it's been on the ground. Snow really changes things a lot because half the time your knife is slippery, the other half the time you've dried it off and it becomes tacky. So it's even more difficult to deal with than just either pure rain or pure humidity. So those are a few thoughts about throwing. Sorry about the bugs. Got a little bit more protein in my diet today. Thanks a lot.